Hi students, welcome to Alphos e-learning chemistry classes for second year. The running chapter is organic chemistry and now we are in session number 10. In previous sessions we learned about electron displacement effects and their influence on stability of the reaction intermediates and acidic strengths and basic strengths. Generally it is covering a part of GOC, general organic chemistry. Just I provided you the salient features of different factors and their influence on deciding the acidic strengths or stabilities or basic strengths. Clear? And in this session we are moving into the next part, that is nothing but organic reactions, the reagents, how the reaction mechanism will happen. That means the way in which the reaction is taking place. All these we have to discuss, and for that purpose first of all we should have a thorough idea, a clean idea about what are the participants in the reaction and how we are termed it, and in which place or position we can introduce different reactants, that is nothing but the substrates or the reagents, and how they are classified. And after this classification, how many types of total organic reactions we can observe in general, that is in a broad based classification we have to discuss. Clear? For that purpose just you go through this in a keen manner, that is what is happening. Just because in our competitive examination they are not asking about the in-depth, because it is time-based question. Already repeatedly I am making you to understand the difference between the descriptive part of the exam and the objective part of the exam. Once you are clear with this one, the mechanism or with the concept, then already they will provide 4 options. When if you are thorough with that concepts, automatically after going through the options you will get the idea. Yes, in this way it is of going to react, in this way it is attacking, like that. So that's why, but your interest that makes the difference. If you are very interested, because these are the basics for the reaction, for the preparations and properties. Already in 11th class, that is nothing but in junior enter, you learn some preparations and properties of hydrocarbons. Only hydrocarbons, there is alkanes, alkenes and benzene. But here we are studying the hetero atom present organic compounds, that is nothing but halogenated, oxygenated, nitrogenated, like all these compounds we are going to study for their preparation and properties. For that purpose, and already covered, that is nothing but hydrocarbon preparation properties are also. You need not by heart anything, you need not that is nothing, you need not write imposition like 10 times 20 times every reaction, you need not do like that. Just if you are following the trend, you can easily guess the answers in competitive examination. Clear? Thereby from the inception, because it is a new topic, that is nothing but reactions, reagents and reaction mechanisms. First let us consider in an organic compound, in an organic reaction, not compound, in an organic reaction, the main components that involved, first of all we should know, are substrate. There should be substrate, and then reagent. These two on combination gives product plus byproduct, product and byproduct. When we are considering this is product, it is nothing but the main product. Byproduct, it is nothing but some other like water, smaller molecules. Clear? And this is the main, and here the temperature or pressure or catalyst, like this. These are termed as reaction conditions. These are the participants in an organic reaction. Clear? And now just you remember, it is easy to understand organic chemistry, organic reaction and the approach of the preparations and properties. Substrates, generally you remember, from alkanes to, it may be alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, already we covered. Benzene, it is also covered in first year. And now it is alkyl halides we have to study, alcohols, and then carbonyl compounds we are going to study, carboxylic acids we are going to study, and this is amines, nitrogenous compounds. And here in alcohols there are phenols, in between there are ethers. All these, that is nothing but the homologous series. Homologous series are considered as substrates. Let me give one key point for here. You know, we are studying these compounds in the same order. After going through alkane, we are going through alkene, then alkyne. Okay, we will keep this benzene separate because it is nothing but aromatic compound. It is hydrocarbon, but it is aromatic compound. So now alkanes are nothing but R, CH2, CH2, like CH3. Like this we can represent alkanes, and then alkenes we can represent it as R, CH double bond CH2. Alkynes, it is nothing but like this. And then now we are entering into RX, and then ROH. Just I am writing this order, and then C double bond O, then COOH. This is the order what we are studying. Just let me give, it is alkane, alkene, alkyne, alkyl halide, alcohol, and carbonyl compounds, then acids and acid derivatives. Do you know why we are always following the same sequence? Any one of you? Do you know why we are following that? What is that? Why? How these compounds are arranged in such a sequence? Do you know? It is just, you remember, it is nothing but increasing order. These two are equal. Increasing order of oxidation. Increasing oxidation. Just you remember. This is increasing oxidation. Sorry, it is like this. Increasing oxidation, like this. That means when compared to alkanes, alkenes are more oxidized, alkynes still more oxidized, alkyl halides still more oxidized, and it is equal to alcohol, and then carbonyl compounds, and then carboxylic acid. Just you remember, when this is increasing order, quite reverse. That is nothing but, if it is coming to this, it is nothing but increasing reduction. Just if you are following keenly, if you are following, just what we are observing is, from alkanes to carboxylic acids, in this direction when we are moving, it is nothing but we have to make the compound, each and every one, to go for oxidation. In case if we are coming from right to left, that is from this side to this side, it is nothing but I am writing actually after this is continuation, because it is a small board. I am writing one after the other. Actually alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, alkyl halide, alcohols, carbonyl compounds, acids. These are the major groups. Here and there some other groups may present, like ethers, like primary, secondary, tertiary amines, or otherwise they are of end point, it is a different one. And now it is acid derivatives may be there, but all these derivatives are after carbonyl compounds. They are more oxidized. Are you following? So simply we can say that actually when the reaction is carried out, what are these reactions? You should have that idea. If you are keen in that, simply you can write. Now let me give. What for these organic reactions? Either it may be preparation, or it may be property. Other than these two, is there any reaction? Just you think. Other than preparation and property, is there any chemical reaction in organic chemistry? No. That's why for all organic reactions are either preparations or properties. One more logic I will provide to you, just you follow. Sometimes when we are of using a reaction as the preparation of a compound, it automatically will be a property of other compound. That is the beauty of organic chemistry. Again I am repeating, if we are preparing one organic compound from some other organic compound, when related to this product it is preparation, but related to the reactant it is property. So the same reaction you can come across two times. One is when you are studying for the preparation of the product. The same reaction you can study in the property of the substrate. The property of substrate and the preparation of product, both are same. When we are preparing A from B, B property is to provide A. A preparation is we can prepare A from B, like that. Clear? And now simply with all this arrangement, just to remember, in this organic reaction the substrate will be any of these, that is nothing but these homologous series. The same homologous series, here they are substrates. Just one logic what we have to observe is, when we are preparing alkenes or alkynes, alkyl halides or alcohols, like that, right side compounds from left side compound, this one from this or this one from this or any of this one from this, that is succeeding one from preceding one. The process is oxidation, just you remember. When it is oxidized is nothing but removal of hydrogen. Already we know one of the definition for oxidation is removal of hydrogen. So when hydrogen is removed, alkene formed. One more hydrogen removed, alkynes formed. Now for this alkene, that is HX, nothing but hydrogen halide added. Halogen addition is nothing but an oxidation by one definition. And already we know addition of oxygen is also an oxidation. Like that, oxidation process are involved when we are preparing succeeding compound from preceding compounds. In case if we are preparing preceding one from succeeding one, can you guess what will be the process? Just it is nothing but reduction. Because when it is reduced it will give carbonyl. When it is reduced, any of these reduced, this will give in. And when these are reduced, these are formed. Like that, here this one after the other, either by oxidation or by reduction, we can prepare one compound from the other compound. First you should know that process already I am giving. This is always the sequence, and in this sequence when we are moving from left to right, oxidation, right to left, reduction. Only two processes. But if you observe this, there is no oxidation because both these two are equally oxidized, and there is no reduction because both these two are equally oxidized or reduced. In such a case, just what we are doing is nothing but displacement. The displacement here in organic chemistry is known as substitution. Already you know the word substitution is nothing but one substituent, that is one chemical species will come in the place of another chemical species in the compound. So when the reactions are in between, from alcohol is substrate to form the alkyl halide, there we have to imagine substitution. If alcohol is the product from alkyl halide, there also it is substitution. There is no oxidation, there is no reduction. Except in this case, in all the cases, the sequence, it is a simple sequence. Left to right is oxidation, right to left is reduction. But just you remember, in case if we are preparing, just you observe, in case if we are preparing alcohol, for example, from this acid or from this carbonyl compound, it is reduction. Already we know, because from right side to left side we are moving, that's why it is reduction. But when substrate is this, we are using one reducing agent. If substrate is carbonyl compound, we are using another reducing agent. That makes the difference. Altogether it is reduced. It is reduced to get the alcohol. It is also reduced to get the alcohol. But for both these two, the same reducing agent is not working. Because from acid, reduction species is different. From carbonyl compound, the reduction species is different. In a similar manner, when we are preparing carbonyl compound from this, when we are preparing acid from this, oxidation, in such an oxidation, here what we are using an oxidizing agent is not useful in oxidation to carboxylic acid. Are you following? Just it is because the degree of oxidation or reduction is changing, and because of that, the nature, the oxidizing or reducing nature, nothing but power, we have to monitor. For that purpose, we are using the reagents. That oxidizing or reducing agents are nothing but reagents in general. But when the substrate tend to form into product, it requires the attack of the reagent. Just for the reagent purpose, let me give one common example. Thereby, my effort is nothing but to make you to understand in an easy manner. Reagent is like gun. Reagent is like gun. Just you remember. But from this reagent, attacking group is different. Gun, bullet, both these two are different. So many guns are there, but the attacking group from that gun is always considered as bullet. Irrespective of the name, that is nothing but the type of gun, the releasing species, the releasing object is known as bullet. Here also, just you remember, are you following? Are you following? Try to digest, because it is common example. Reagents are so many students are getting confused because of so many reagents are there. But you remember, even though reagents are so many, the attacking groups released from that reagents are only 3 types. That's why we are having the reagents attacking groups limited. 3 types of attacking groups we can observe from the reagents. Those attacking groups are nothing but free radicals, electrophiles, or nucleophiles. These are the 3 kinds of attacking groups. Just remember, these are nothing but bullet, and reagent is gun. So many guns there may be, so many types of guns, but in all these, whatever the object which is of hurting the person is nothing but bullet. Like that here also, free radicals, these are formed in homolytic fission. I think you know, homolytic fission is nothing but the bonding will be cleaved in such a manner where the electrons are dispersed through to the 2 species equally. Thereby there is no charged species. It is A plus B. It is odd electron species, not a charge. Unlike that, here A, B, when these are unequal, that is nothing but it is homolytic. Already you know this word, homolytic fission. Here it is heterolytic fission. Heterolytic fission. Here we are getting A plus and B minus, charged species. And my dear students, you remember these charged species in general in inorganic chemistry we are considering them as cation and anion. But here we are not concerned like that. These are positive charge species is known as electrophile. Electrophile. Negative charge species is known as nucleophile. Let me give one more logic to remember these two. You remember, in chemistry, philic means loving. In chemistry, philic means electrophilic, lyophilic, like that. Whatever, hydrophilic, like that. Whatever it may be, philic means loving. Clear? Electrophilic means electron loving. What is electron charge? Negative charge. To love negative charge, what should be the charge of this species? Positive. So like charges never love. That's why positive charge always love negative charge electron, thereby it is electrophile. And negative charge, it always love positive charge, and positive charge representation is through nucleus, thereby it is known as nucleophile. Just you remember why they are considered like that. Philic means loving, electrophile, electron loving, nucleophile, nucleus lover. Nucleus is positive charge. To love positive charge, nucleophile should bear negative charge. Are you clear with that one? So these electrophiles and nucleophiles are generated in heterolytic fission, and free radicals are generated in homolytic fission. Altogether, we are having only these three attacking groups, irrespective of the nature of the reagent. From that reagent, if it is supposed to, it is free radical agent, that free radical will be released. Say for example, let me give that for your convenience sake and clarity. Chlorine, and when it is in presence of Lewis acid like AlCl3, or bromine when it is with Lewis acid like ArBr3, it is of getting into Cl plus AlCl4 minus. Here also Br plus AlBr4 minus. So these are nothing but undergoing heterolytic fission, creating positive charge species. Already just we learned what is positive charge species? Electrophile. Are you clear with this one? And now let me write one more. Chlorine is there, and in this chlorine, when it is of kept in light, can you guess what will happen? Here it is undergoing homolytic fission to create free radicals. Similarly, bromine, it is of not only light, it requires somewhat heat. In this case, it is also creating free radical. Now just you observe, these two here are considered as free radical reagents, whether it is chlorine or bromine. Reagent may be different, but the attacking group is free radical. From chlorine, chlorine free radical is released, bromine, bromine free radical is released. Like that, whatever the reagent it may be, whatever the species it is releasing, what is the electronic condition? That is the criteria to give these three names. If that releasing species is having odd electron, it is free radical reagent. If that releasing species is having positive charge, maybe chlorine, maybe bromine, some other X, but if it is having electron deficiency like positive charge is present, it is electrophile. If negative charge is present, it is nucleophile. So now you have to consider, when a given reagent, what you have to study is, when you are studying reagents, just to observe in homolytic fission how it is generating free radical, whether it is going for homolytic fission or not. And in case if it is undergoing homolytic fission, whether it is giving electrophile or nucleophile, both will be generated. Both will be generated. But your idea, your common sense or your IQ should work in such a manner where the bond will get cleaved to create positive or negative charge species. Let me give best example for this. With that one, I think you can easily understand that. This is HOCl. In inorganic chemistry, what we are imagining is, it is hypochlorous acid, thereby H plus will be released forming OCl minus. Is it not? Clear? But in organic chemistry, the same HOCl is supposed to cleave like this. Just you observe. Here it is plus and it is minus. In this manner, the heterolytic fission will take place, not like this. So in case if you are observing that HOCl as an acid, it is inorganic or physical chemistry. But that is what I am asking you. you should be keen with that one. When we are considering this HOCl, hypochlorous acid, as the reagent, and when it is going to attack on any substrate, how the bonding will be cleaved. Automatically, first of all, you should know that it is undergoing heterolytic fission, and in such heterolytic fission, where the bond cleaves, with normal course the bond should be cleaved here, and H plus should be the electrophile that should be released. But unlike that, here it is of between OH and Cl, where Cl plus is electrophile and OH minus is nucleophile. Are you clear? Like that, after going through that reagent, once you studied, because in your mains or NEET level, I think totally in organic chemistry we are having 27 to 28 reagents. The same reagents, once, twice, thrice, we are using the same reagents. From the beginning itself, if you are here and there, one or two may be exceptions, but we are always using the same reagents, because already I discussed with you that preparation of a compound is nothing but a property of the other compound. So the same reagents we are using for the preparations, and the same such reagent is used for the property of the other compound. That's why we need not, once you are, when it is first appeared in preparation, if you are thorough with that reagent, automatically that reagent, when you are having clarity about the characteristic feature of that reagent, when once it is appeared in some other reaction, you can easily recall the nature of that reagent, and so as to make the reaction mechanism. Like that, first of all, you should have the reagent. Reagents, only three kinds: free radical reagents, electrophilic reagents, nucleophilic reagents. And these three kinds, depending on the attacking group that is released from that reagents. And as we know, just now you observe chlorine, bromine, both are free radical reagents. Iodine or some other, NBS, N-bromosuccinimide, it is also a free radical reagent. Like that, or any HX, or HX is in presence of, generally HBr, in presence of peroxide. Generally, in presence of any peroxide, the homolytic fission will take place, and thereby in presence of peroxide we should always imagine that free radicals will be generated. Are you following? Like that, depending on the reagent nature, first of all you have to observe the characteristic feature. If it is generating free radical, we have to follow free radical mechanism, and in that free radical mechanism, whatever the free radical that is generated from the reagent, you have to make to attack. Here, say for example, if you are using chlorine, you have to make chlorine to attack on that. If you are using bromine, bromine has to attack. Like that, irrespective of the chemical nature, that is nothing but the elemental nature or the chemical species, ionic species that is present, we have to observe whether it is coming to form a free radical or electrophile or nucleophile. Depending on that, we are having only three types of reagents. So many reagents may generate free radicals. All those are known as free radical generating agents. Some other reagents may be able to generate electrophiles. All those reagents are known as electrophilic reagents, and some other may be able to generate nucleophiles. Then you have to consider such reagent as nucleophilic reagent. Like that, you have to decide the nature of the reagent depending on the attacking group. And now we are clear with the substrate. The substances which can be as a substrate are nothing but the homologous series. It may be alkane, alkyl halides, alcohols, or carbonyl compounds, carboxylic acids, amines, ethers, benzene or benzene substituted, that is nothing but substituted benzenes. Different. All those homologous series are substrates, and these are the three types of reagents. Clear? And with these two combinations, now we have to study different kinds of reactions. What are different kinds of reactions that we can observe in organic chemistry? And first let me give the meaning of each type of reaction and what is happening in that one, and thereby we can consider the name of the reaction, and then we have to connect the type of reaction with the substrate. That is nothing but we can say that the characteristic reactions of those substrates. And first let me give that one. types of reactions. Types of reactions. Just you remember here, generally the reactions may be of replacing one already existing species with other. Such type of reaction is substitution. Such type of reaction is substitution. And just let me give, in case if it is the substrate is of having an unsaturation, then some new chemical species is added to the substrate. It is nothing but addition. And in case if the substrate is a saturated compound, if any chemical species is eliminated from that substrate, it is elimination. Like that, basically we are having three types of reactions in organic compounds. They are nothing but, one is addition reactions, and second one is nothing but elimination reactions, and third one is nothing but substitution reactions. Just you remember, substitution is nothing but elimination followed by addition. Elimination, one species is removed, another species is added, then it is known as substitution. And in most of the books it is given as rearrangement reactions. There are some rearrangement reactions, named reactions, but you remember in general these rearrangements are happening in all these here and there. That is, during addition, during elimination, during substitution, we can observe the rearrangement of reaction intermediates, not the substrates. Just you remember, such rearrangements are observed only in case of reaction intermediates. After reaction intermediate rearrangement, again the substrate will form as, that is, the product will form as it is. So we may consider this, but it is not, unless this is nothing but rearrangement in reaction intermediate you can consider, or in named reaction you can consider. Like that, here we can consider the two types of rearrangements: reaction intermediate rearrangement, and the other one is named rearrangements. Clear? And now addition, elimination, substitution, all these are of depending on molecularity. All these depending on molecularity. Molecularity means nothing but the number of molecules that involved in rate determining step. It is nothing but once again kinetic factor. Depending on molecularity, and one more, depending on just what we are considering is attacking group. That attacking group is nothing but it can be considered as a reagent. So first of all, let us consider the reagent. These are the different factors to classify these. And first let me give the reagent based. The reagent here for addition, it may be free radical, it may be electrophilic, it may be nucleophilic. So addition reactions three kinds: free radical addition, electrophilic addition, nucleophilic addition. Similarly, elimination, but here in elimination reagent is not playing any role, because elimination it requires, just you remember, it requires base, that too strong base, forever you remember. Elimination requires what? Strong base. No other reagent. It is not nucleophile, it is not electrophile, it is not free radical. And then substitution. Again substitution three kinds, similar to that of addition. It may be free radical substitution, it may be electrophilic substitution, it may be nucleophilic substitution. So like that, depending on the reagent, these two, that is addition and substitutions, are three kinds, and that reagent is not playing any role in elimination, because elimination reagent is a base. Base is not a free radical, not a nucleophile, not a electrophile. Clear? And now molecularity. Now the second factor, molecularity. Depending on molecularity, just you remember, these elimination reactions two kinds, and among these substitutions, this nucleophilic substitution is two kinds. Are you following? Molecularity is not playing its role in all cases, only in elimination where reagent is not having its role. There we can consider molecularity may be 1. If molecularity 1 is unimolecular reaction, it is E1 mechanism, and if it is 2, then it is E2 mechanism. And this nucleophilic substitution, as you know, it is known as SN reaction. Just you remember, substitution nucleophile, actually it is nucleophilic substitution. Here, depending on molecularity, again it is also SN1 and SN2 types of reaction. Altogether, if we are considering, we are of having how many types of reactions? Just let us consider 1. Free radical addition. I am not writing on this board because it is short. Free radical addition, electrophilic addition, nucleophilic addition. 3. Here 3 types of reactions. Elimination reaction 1. Substitution, free radical substitution, electrophilic substitution, nucleophilic substitution 3. Total 7 types of reactions in addition to rearrangements we can find. Their names are nothing but just what I am terming here, and molecularity is not a type of reaction, it is a mechanism. Are you following? Mechanism is different from type of reaction. Mechanism, it is SN mechanism. It is nucleophilic substitution is one kind of reaction, and that mechanism is either it may be unimolecular mechanism or it is bimolecular mechanism, like that. That's why I am asking you to remember these reagents and the reaction. Free radical addition, electrophilic addition, nucleophilic addition. Next, elimination, no rearrange, that is reagent based, and then that is 4th one, elimination. And next 5th one is free radical substitution. 6th one is electrophilic substitution. 7th one is nucleophilic substitution. Clear? You should keep in your mind all these, and already we know the substrates: alkanes, benzene, and then alkyl halides, carbonyl compounds, alcohols, carbonyl compounds, carboxylic acids. And now in the next session we are going to connect these different types of reactions with that substrates as the characteristic feature or characteristic reactions of those homologous series, and thereafter we will enter into mechanisms. Are you clear? So keen with this one. By next session you should keep in your mind different substrates and the reactions. In the next session we are going to club these two. Clear? Thank you.